Fanum breaks down why streaming is
Yo,
F now.
Fanum
Let's
came
get into
back
it.
and he gave a take. We talked about him previously when he talked about
Fanum's
the
always been
situation
talking,
with
man.
streaming
He's a
this year,
talker.
and he gave another update. And I do think there's a lot of insight that we can get into here, and from trends that I've seen that have happened already. So I'm gonna play you guys the clip first, and then I'm gonna give you some examples.
One thing I'll say is, bro, as a streamer, yeah, or as a content creator, Fanum's definitely one of them guys that taps in. When the lights go dim and he starts talking, bro, he always has something fruitful to say. He always drops gems. So when he talks and that, bro, he always talks with meaning. You
As the
get what I'm
clip
trying to
first, and
say?
then I'm gonna give
And I
you
like
some
that about him.
examples.
And by the way, I think streaming right now, I ain't want to say nothing because everything, like, I feel like I be saying and then just get twisted. But I feel like it's so much going on that it almost feel like nothing going on in a weird way. I don't know explain it, bro. I have a bad way with certain things.
I hear it.
It's the feeling that I'm trying to portray. But whatever, it's just everybody trying to do everything.
Exactly.
And I'm not trying to be like nobody. I'm trying to make sure I be like myself.
So I agree with him completely here, and I'll give you an example. When he talks about, like, it's part of it is overstimulated, where you're like, yo, there's a phase subathon that's going to be happening, and then there's also Kai Cenat Mafia-thon, and then there's all of these big events, and Speed's doing his USA tour, and it feels like these things are not as hyped as the European tour or the Asia tour. And I don't know if it's because people are seeing it more often, but I know you guys feel it too. Like, you see the clips, but it feels like it's a custom now, where
I don't know, man. I feel like it might just be America in terms of the speed thing, though. I feel like normally, because every single time he's done it so many times outside of America, but it's been lit. You know, like LA, people are so used to seeing celebrities that no one really gets gas when they see celebrities. Yeah, calm, you have like the New York situation with Kai and all of that. But even then, it's not like those people were even there for Kai. It turned into something completely different. You get what I'm trying to say? But I feel like it's kind of like the LA effect. You see celebs all the time, so it's like, oh yeah, it's another one, it's another one, it's another one. So I feel like when Speed does it in USA, not to say it doesn't have that same effect, but I feel like they're kind of used to him. Whereas when American artists go to the UK or go to other places of Europe, Asia, or whatever, they might not be used to seeing celebrities all the time or that specific person. You get what I'm trying to say? So I feel like it's appreciated more. The clips go even crazy and all of that type of stuff. So it might just be that thing. Just US are just used to speed type of thing.
and I don't know if it's because people are seeing it more often, but I know you guys feel it too. Like, you see the clips, but it feels like it's a custom now, where the clips are being posted because that's what the clip pages are supposed to do, versus people excited to clip it, and then people are excited to reply. Now it's just like, oh yeah, he's doing that thing that he's supposed to do. Same thing with Kai Cenat. Oh yeah, he's doing that thing he's supposed to do, because the rate that he's gaining subs, like, it doesn't have that hit that it once did. And with Fanum is somebody that has always been himself, and he's somebody that's predicted all of these trends. Like, the guy brought Kai Cenat into the AMP house. He saw him streaming. He saw the potential that he had, and he said, yo, get out of your dingy apartment in the Bronx with your family and come
Well, he
here
didn't see him
in
streaming.
Atlanta. I'm going to
He
house
encouraged
you,
him to
and
stream.
you're going to grind it out. And now the guy's the biggest streaming star in America. So Fanum knows a thing or two, more than a thing or two. But I'll give you guys another example, which is this guy Lacey. So FaZe Lacey, he gives his take on why streaming is going downhill, and I'm gonna play you guys that right now.
Let's talk real for a sec. The standard for streaming is all the way up here. If you go live and you don't have anything planned and you just want to sit at your desk and talk to the chat and just relax, kick back, vibe with your stream, all people say is L content. Go IRL, go do this, no content. Didn't plan anything today. Never plan. No content. Why did it turn into that?
You don't need to say. I mean, the answer's obvious, my guy. Obviously, you have the Kai Cenat effect of everyone trying to match what he wants to do in terms of he's always doing some grand subathon, gameathon, whatever-a-thon, 25-hour-a-thon, bar-a-thon, chow-a-thon, gar-a-thon. You get what I'm trying to say? But then you also have IRL was the main thing. Before it was desktop streaming. That was the in thing. Then it changed to being outside, interacting with people, always trying to get a crazy clip farming. Like, and you're a part of that type of thing. You get what I'm trying to say? The people at the top changed the game whether that's for the better or worse, you can decide that. But now it's a case where we're ending that period of what do you call it? Every single day is a lit stream, every single day is a lit stream, every single day we're outside or whatever. We're kind of coming to the end of that now, and it's like now you have to find a new thing type of thing. You get what I'm trying to say? But you are a cause of that. So instead of sitting here saying, "All my days, why is it turned that?" You get me? Try find a new thing. You get what I'm trying to say? Try find a new thing that
Never
works.
plan, no content.
So it
Why
goes,
did it
man.
turn into that? That's I genuinely feel like that's why streamers are taking breaks. Look at Ron taking a break. Marlon just did a stream for a week. Because I feel like for some reason, the way streaming has become, if there's nothing big planned or no big event, people don't want to stream because the chat expects and has this standard of you got to do that. I think we should go back to the days where you could literally spark up at 8 p.m. if you wanted to, and the chat is happy and people are happy.
And you can do that, but you just have to be willing to take a hit. You get what I'm trying to say? Because it will come down, but it will then go back up again. People realize that's the right thing to do.
How nice life was, bruh. Why are y'all saying, oh, I go live, right? And I'll end my stream off for the last 4 hours, me just talking to the chat, playing a game. And then I look over at the chat and I see, oh, L content. Bro didn't plan anything today. Go do something. Why are you just sitting here? I look over, I see chat not moving. View bot. This guy's botting.
This is a very, very good point. And it's not that history repeats itself. It's that there's really nothing new under the sun, and people rehash things often, but trends. So right now, huge events, budgets, production. Like remember, like DDG, Are You My Ball? That happened. There was a huge production into that show. In Too Deep, Black Boy Max. There's a huge production. It's almost like TV. It's like Love Island. And then you've got Mafiathon. That costs a ton of money. And you've got Speed's tour. This guy's got a bus, and it's like theatrics. It's like the first time you saw drone footage. You remember when vlogs were going on YouTube, and you saw Casey Neistat drone footage, and you saw, I think it was Jesse Wellen, who was the first one that was using the drones. But you saw drone footage, you were like, whoa, just any footage of aerial from a drone in a vlog, you were like, this is crazy.
Although I feel like with the vlogging and YouTube kind of always stays diverse. YouTube is that place where in Twitch, there's a trend and everyone kind of has to follow that trend. And if you don't follow the trend, you're not getting to the certain place or to the heights of the highest people doing that said trend. But I feel like with YouTube, it's always going to be, you have your basic people and you have your overcomplicated people. Pick your side. You get what I'm trying to say? There's variety, man. So with the vlogs, 100%. The vlogs that I watch now, I really enjoy watching vlogs and I eventually want to do them, but they're like movies now, bro. But you also have your people that will do your simple cuts, the same music, every single video, but they're still getting the same type of numbers, if not more. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's more versatile on YouTube. I definitely understand what you're saying, 100%. Now vlogs are like movies,
After a
man.
while,
It's crazy.
after a bunch of other vloggers start using it, you're like, okay, here we go, another drone shot. And now it's really nothing special. It doesn't have that novelty, I guess you could say. Same thing with Mr. Beast. When Mr. Beast first got into the game, throwing in these crazy budgets on these huge videos, it was wild. People were like, whoa, I've never seen something like this. This is insane. And giving away this much money. And then you had other people copying him, following the meta. So you had people like Eric, you had like people like Tyler Oliver.
I know, bondage,
there was this
BDSM, it's
whole
just that.
genre called the Mr. Beastification of YouTube. And people got numb to it. And even Mr. Beast has confirmed, I think today the news came out, that he confirmed that he's slowing down his videos. He's not doing the loud stuff anymore. He's not doing the fast-paced stuff. He's slowing it down. He's making it more story-based. And he's pivoting away from what he was doing. And that's because people got numb to it. They're like, okay, another one of these. And I think that's the same thing that's happening in streaming, because there was the Mr. Beastification of YouTube, which was, oh, you got to maximize retention and you got to cut out any pauses and you got to make sure that the person's just spazzing out like a Logan Paul vlog. And then at the peak of that era of YouTube, what happened? We got a superstar on YouTube that blew up, that was getting disgusting views compared to everybody else, and that was Sam Sulek. And Sam Sulek was just a bodybuilder that was really calm.
And he's one of the people that came to my mind when I say basic. When you talk about basic fitness, just, you get what I'm saying? This is one of them guys.
Wasn't loud.
He gets the
Wasn't
views.
screaming. Not even like the era of bodybuilders that were like hawking cigs or chilling with chicks, right? Like the stimulus, like what era was that? I'm forgetting his name. He's unfortunately, I think he's getting heart failure right now. Skywalker, yeah.
More power to him,
Skywalker,
man.
you guys know who I'm talking about. If you know, you know. But there was like that high
Is this
energy
him?
stuff. And Sam Sulek wasn't even that. He was just calm, driving to the gym, talking, doing his workout, and he blew up. And people didn't quite understand it. He wasn't the biggest guy. There were people bigger than him. There were people more lean than him. There were people that were professionals. There were people that were older. There were people that were doing other content. But it just swung the opposite way. And for a long time, streaming...
Yeah. He might not be big in the flipping fitness world, but your everyday average person is big. Like, you know, for your everyday average person, he's big, man. What we doing
was largely just desktop streaming. And it was gaming originally, but then it became people doing just chatting / IRL. You had a little bit of IRLs. And then the Aiden Ross really took things to another level. So this started with the Aiden. If it's anything, it's the Aiden Ross. And then I would say it is Kai Cenat for sure. But
Well, even then with Aiden, bro, obviously Aiden with his whole personality and the sus-ish, bro, you get me? I feel like that definitely had an effect on the industry because everyone was flipping doing that, even down to the sidemen. That's why I even stopped watching them because it's different. I guess with Aiden it's still forced as well, but even with the sidemen, like you could tell that these men were trying to force in sus jokes, and you get what I'm trying to say. They were just doing weird-ish. Thankfully, we're kind of coming out of that era now. So what we still see 100%, like even Kai Cenat and Rakai talking like very sassy, your age as well. But I feel like everyone doing it is kind of fading out a little bit. But what was my flipping point? Yeah, even Aiden, I feel like even when Kai was starting to bring people on stream, he was bringing people into his world. It wasn't like the Mafia-thon 3 where he's getting Mariah Carey and Dada. I feel like they were picking specific people that fit into their world. So you can say it was a starting point, but even then, I still feel like it was good though, because whether it was your Juice WRLDs or your NLE Choppers or your G Herbals or your Offsets, they were showing a completely different side. They weren't acting rappery. They were acting like streamers and entertainers. You get what I'm trying to say? So even then though, I feel like it's more so when Kai Cenat started to bring more people onto his stream and also do like the game-a-thons and all of that type of stuff. I feel like that's when the real change started to happen.
Production started coming in. And I think we're going to get to a point very soon. And this is why Bruce Drop Him Off coming back is so important, because he's a guy that came up in his room. And XQC is an example of that too. This guy came up in his room. Granted, XQC blew up initially because he was really, really, really good at video game.
Sorry, and also during that time as well, they could bring someone on stream and then do a stream by themselves. You get what I'm trying to say? And it wouldn't be fine. Now we're at the point where if something lit isn't going on, and then if something lit isn't going on where they're doing a stream by themselves, it's a problem now type of thing. But before, even when they were bringing rappers on, they could do the next day just a stream by themselves or all streamers or whatever, and it was completely fine. You get what I'm trying to say? So people were fine with it. I don't think the game didn't get weird then. I feel like the game's definitely very weird right now.
Because he was really, really, really good at video game. Bruce Drop Him Off, he was a personality that was just online, but him coming back is like, yo, you can get these numbers just being you and kicking it with your community and being entertaining, and you don't need all of this other stuff. Like a lot of people say DDG needs girls and he needs to collaborate and he needs to create these storylines. What I think is going to happen, I don't think we've hit this peak yet. It might happen in a year or so, because think about it. iShowSpeed this year has jumped over 2 cars. Like the
crazy.
Certain events that have happened this year in streaming are once a year events, or even like once in 5-year events. You're like, yo, that guy jumped over 2 cars.
Used to be
year events, or even like once in 5-year events. You're like, yo, that guy jumped over 2 cars. Speed jumped over a car, number one, and then he jumped over 2 cars, and that was old news like a week later because he just did some other crazy thing. And that's unsustainable. And I want to drag this back to music because I think the same thing happens with music. You need spacing in between drops or in between huge events in this scenario. Like there needs to be room to breathe, or else you're not going to appreciate it as much. Like if a movie, like a feature film, they were able to release one every single day, you wouldn't appreciate them as much. And like let's say Drake, right? Let's look at Drake's biggest hits. You've got One Dance, God's Plan, Hotline Bling, Passion Fruit, In My Feelings, Nice for What, Sicko Mode. That was with Travis Scott, but let's just throw that in there. Tootsie Slide, Nonstop, hell, that's just, let's just say those are 10. What is that? 9, 10? Anyway, there are more hits than that. But you've got all those songs. If those songs released one on each day, you release One Dance Monday, God's Plan Tuesday, by day 5 or 6, one of these songs is getting called mid. I promise you.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he's dropping
Well,
too
let's
much.
be honest though. Those songs, some of them songs are mid. Let's be honest, man. Like, you get what I'm trying to say. I don't know what the formula is. I'm not Drake. I'm not looking at his analytics, and I'm just not Drake in terms of concentrating that much on why those songs specifically blow up. But Hotline Bling, Passion Fruit, those ain't Drake songs that I'm putting on. I'm going, oh my days, this is his best work type of. You get what I'm trying to say? So, yeah. But they definitely blew up for whatever reason.
One of these songs,
A song doesn't have to be good as well to
you
blow
release
up.
One Dance Monday, God's Plan Tuesday. By day 5 or 6, one of these songs is getting called mid. I promise you. Because he's dropping too much. Same thing with, now Future is somebody that was dropping a ton and people were appreciating it, but there got to a time around Evol, which is Love Backwards, around there where people were like, yo, you got to chill, man. It's part of it is not being able to consume as much, but value comes in scarcity too. And Kai Cenat, like there are people that are criticizing Kai Cenat's Mafiathon, and they're saying like, man, all he's doing is just begging for subs and like a short segment, and they're not being grateful. For this guy brought on Kim Kardashian, Offset, Tyla, Ice Spice, Sway Lee, Drewski. Did he have Wembenyama on there? He had Mario. He had Neo. And who else? This guy had the chain
because there were times where he left the house. So
he
yeah,
had Neo. Who else? This guy had the chain smokers DJing a set inside his bathroom. This is just what I'm remembering off the top of my head, and I haven't been watching a lot of these. He had the Jonas Brothers on there, Keke Palmer. Hey, who else? Dude, all of these people, and people still find something to be ungrateful for. And this is the thing. Every guest of this could have been a once in every 3-month thing, and it would have been a huge event. Like, remember when Ninja was streaming with Drake? That was an internet-shattering event. It was the first time those two worlds collided with the biggest thing, which was Fortnite. But
sure, shout out Ninja for that.
if you're just throwing celebrity after celebrity after celebrity, then it gets dull. And I think those streamers get categorized in something that is not fashionable anymore. Because, like, what's fashionable, what's cool, it's always moving in cycles. So what I think is going to happen with streaming, eventually, maybe in a year, maybe a year and a half, maybe someone's blowing up right now, is someone that is just authentic, kind of dull, like not dull. He has to be entertaining, but not entertaining in the way that everyone else is right now. And like one thing I was talking about was this guy Hitch from years ago. He never really properly blew up, but his concept was so dope, which was just a guy that was hitching a ride. Like he wasn't living anywhere, and he was relying on people to pick him up to go across cities and the country. I think he did it across multiple countries.
Yeah, even yesterday I was chilling, and I like to, like, when I'm going to sleep, I don't always do it because it's also good to be able to just go to sleep without any distractions type of thing. But at the same time, there's times where I like to just listen to something that I don't have to fully concentrate on, whether that's like I'm into text or whether that's a tech review or vlog, and I don't have to fully like look at the screen. I can like close my eyes and just listen or whatever. And some buns popped up on my flipping timeline, or on my recommended or whatever, and I clicked on it, and it was this girl that was basically had a van, she renovated it, and she was like staying in like parking lots and all of that type of stuff. Come to find out, she fully has money to live in a regular house or whatever, but her story is when she was younger with her sister, her sister and her mum had to live in like shelters or whatever. And then obviously life got good again. I'm guessing things got stable or whatever, but now she relives those moments basically by going to like different shelters, sleeping in car parks and all of that type of stuff. You get what I'm trying to say? So similar to this guy as well, where people are fully... They're good, bro, in terms of money and that. They don't need to do all these different things, but obviously it just reminds them of a certain time of her life. And her situation is very unique as well, because you could say that was a negative time, but she still wants to relive that. But people don't understand, negative time But when you live that with family, with friends, and those hard times brought good memories or whatever, bro, it sticks with you type of thing. Because even me, I've definitely lived in situations where people were like, bruv, I could not have done that or whatever. But at the same time, man had my family, man had my friends. There were good times where I laughed during those times. Yeah, I had fun during those times. I was happy during those times, even though what I had with my mum was very little type of thing. You get what I'm trying to say? But you just appreciate them much more because something good came from something bad type of thing.
Go across cities and the country. I think he did it across multiple countries. And I always watched that guy's streams. I would have him on. And I was like, man, this is such a cool concept. And he never really blew up. But something like that,
Mounting.
I see that becoming the new meta eventually. Because the streamers that are smaller are not going to be able to compete unless they clout chase, right? Or not clout chase. It's a little bit of, it's like kind of knocking them down unless they network or get the attention of one of these big guys, because you're going to get priced out of production. And I do think people like DDG are realizing more production is not resulting in a proportional return on investment. So DDG is probably looking at it like, yo, I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on this thing. It didn't blow me up and it didn't make me that much money. I could have made this same amount of money, or I could have made 10% less money spending 80% less than I spent on this. So why?
And not gonna lie, these big production streams never entertain me. This whole IRL era has been my least favorite. I literally have Twitch Turbo. I do use it from time to time in terms of watching people's streams. But even the streamers that I watch is desktop, man. Like the IRL era big events never moved me. Obviously the Mafiathons, because there's segments within them. Yeah, you can try to say that all Kai did in this Mafiathon was literally just big people. No, he didn't, bro. Go to his channel. You get what I'm trying to say? There's times where he's doing things with him, his guys or whatever, no celebrities, no whatever. So there's going to be segments in there that I want to watch, but also because I'm doing the YouTube stuff as well, I also want to react to these videos and actually have a genuine reaction. But yeah, the IRL big stream era, Kaisenat's Mafiathons are the only things that I really tune in. That's quote unquote a big event. Everything else, allow me, whether it's Platboy Max's, whether it's DDG's, whether it's, you get like, just never been for me, man. Never been for me. I'm a simple guy. I like the simplicity of
less
things.
Money, spending 80% less than I spent on this. So why would I continue to do this? It doesn't make sense. And yeah, I could see a percent less money
everything.
spending 80% less than I spent on this. So why would I continue to do this? It doesn't make sense.
Showing
and yeah, I could see a new house blow. Like for example, if there's a house of entertaining streamers that are struggling, right? Like these guys are all trying. I see a new crew blowing up. I could see that happening. Of course, it's difficult to make things like this happen, but it's that authentic wanting to root for the underdog that is what's eventually going to become cool. And it's hard because now this is somewhat of an industry. Like their clipping is a mandatory thing now, and you have to know how to do it. So either you know how to do it or you have the funds to do it. But if you're trying to grind as a streamer, you don't really have the funds for it. And if you have the funds, then you're probably not streaming and you already have an income source, or maybe you want to stream, but you don't have enough time to stream because of the dedication that you have to have to the income source that's generating the money that you would spend on clippers. So right now there's kind of this monetary moat that's being created around the biggest streamers, and it's just going to take time and new, I don't want to say these guys aren't authentic, but new DIY people are going to blow up, because the same thing happened in music. Like we had 2010s, right? You had early 2010s especially, that was like peak pop rap too. You had so much money being spent. Like you had Lasers, right? Atlantic making Lupe Fiasco make a Lasers album. It's like, that's how you know these guys they were on it. They were like, yeah, this is what's gonna hit. And you had people like, who else? Like Tiny Tempa. You had Jason Derulo.
Tiny Temper.
You had Tayo Cruz. All of this
Crazy
stuff.
that I knows him.
Into 2015, and then 2016, 17.
And obviously, I know Tiny Temper's one of the biggest artists to come out of the flipping UK, but still, just to hear American say his name.
You start getting this underground that really, really bubbles up, and it was starting off from A$AP Rocky era, but it really starts to take off. And then you've got people like X and Ski dropping songs that sound terrible. They're not polished. They're not pop. They were recorded on garbage mics, and people loved it. And people loved that energy, and they loved those people, and No Jumper was built off of the back of something like that. And I see that happening again in streaming. It's not going to continue like this. Yeah, there will be the biggest channels that are kind of like TV, and there's production, but the audiences will move. And I can almost guarantee that happening. And that's what I think Fanum is saying, is that so much is going on that it just feels like another TV channel. Okay, this guy's doing this guy's doing this show. And it's not like when Kai Cenat was doing the first Mafia-thon or the second one, it was like, whoa, this is the only guy that's doing something like this. And then everyone steps up their game. And you constantly, whoa, this is...
No. That was the clip. What was the flipping clip? This flipping clip right here.
Yeah. I know all three of my signs.
I'm a street sign. Stop.
Taylor, get your watch, bring me here.
Jayla, why'd you bring me here? Yo, the first time I saw that, bro, I was dying. I
know all three of my signs.
I'm a street sign. Stop.
Taylor, get
And this is what I'm talking about. When these guys were bringing rappers on stream, it was this. They understood the assignment, man. Now I can definitely understand the sentiment of, yo, Kai Cenat's just spamming celebrities. I definitely hear that. But let's not act like he's also not doing things outside of that as well. You get what I'm trying to say? If you don't like that content, no problem. But don't lie and say he's not doing anything but bringing celebrities on stream, because that's just not true, man. That's just a bold-faced lie.
The only guy that's doing something like this. And then everyone steps up their game. And you constantly got to be pivoting and doing new things, which I think Kai is doing. But maybe the third one, and it makes sense why he said the third one would be the last one, because he knew when to cut it. But I think that's enough on this topic. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one.
Yeah, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. It's your boy Jazz, and I'm gone, man. Shout out to... I always forget his name. Shout out to Hello Yasin Extras. In a bit, people.